Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. We have been in a discussion and somewhat of a debate for a long time about the reauthorization of export-import, and we have said about everything that could be said about it. My colleagues on the opposite side of the aisle have mentioned over and over again that back in 2002, I voted against the bank. And they did not mention that in 2006, I think it passed on a voice vote and nobody objected on either side of the aisle. So there's a mixed history about XM, on this committee. But I think it is important for me to say that, we have gone through some very difficult times. 2008 was not a good year, and we ended up, having to bail out some of, the biggest banks in this country because of a failed oversight by our regulators, et cetera. We witnessed a decline in employment, and there was a lot of unemployment, and people suffered quite a bit. I am joining with the Chamber of Commerce in ways that I've never done before because I am focused on jobs and job creation. There's a lot of talk now, and you're going to hear it even on both sides of the aisle, about income inequality and discussion about wealth building, et cetera, et cetera. I make no apology for the fact that SpaceX is in my district. I make no apology for the fact that I have a great number of suppliers to Boeing in my district. They create jobs, and I'm very proud and I'm very pleased about that. And I think that XM is doing what was designed for them to do. That's their mission, to create jobs. I have been involved in working on XM for reform. I have been involved in supporting small businesses to make sure that we have as many small businesses as possible supported by XM. I've also worked on other reforms in XM, and for those on the opposite side of the aisle who've been interested in reform, we join them in looking at ways by which it can be stronger and better. What's very interesting about this discussion is that we have members on the opposite side of the aisle that point to that one indictment, and they try to paint XM with a broad brush of corruption and mismanagement. What you don't hear is anybody on the opposite side of the aisle painting the big banks in America with the same kind of brush, no matter how many crimes they commit, no matter how much fraud they're responsible for. We are watching as we look recently at the manipulation of LIBOR, which determines the interest rates. We have watched as the attorneys generals in this country had to, penalize, some of the big banks for the servicing mismanagement that they were involved in, on and on and on. So I think it is important for me to say this as quickly as I can with the minute that's left. I support XM. I support the job creation. I support the fact that they have put money into our Treasury. I support the fact that we are more competitive with XM, and the fact that we consider ourselves the #1 country in the world, and we're having our clocks cleaned by China and some of the other nations, and I don't think we want to do that. We've always had a deficit for too long in export, and we should be proud of the fact that we have an agency that's dedicated to the proposition that we can do better. So there are problems. If they are, they should be worked out. But to talk about killing this bank, not reauthorizing this bank, is radical. That is a radical decision, and it does not make good sense for a country that prides itself on innovation and creation and business expansion and job development. So I'm hopeful that for all of those who may be unhappy, find a way to work with Mr. Hochberg and the bank to work out these problems. I'm thankful that you're here, Mr. Boyle, because you are the poster child for what this bank is all about. And so I would just implore not only those who are here criticizing the bank to say it's all right to have criticism, but to talk about killing the bank is a radical response to whatever your concerns are. And for my friends on the opposite side of the aisle who have painted this as chronic, what do you call it, corporate welfare, et cetera, I think that's an extreme way to deal with this. And for you, Mr. Duffy, I must point out to you that you kind of crossed the line when you implied that there was some kind of connection between campaign contributions and support for XM. And I went and took a look at your record and everybody else's record, and if you want to get into that debate, I'm ready for that one, okay? I yield back the balance of my time.